Very pleased to welcome Mr. Stuart Fleming, Managing Partner of Enviroserve, MENA's pioneering e-waste facility. Thank you very much for being with us and for hosting us today. E-waste is a very delicate chapter of waste. What are the challenges and the opportunities in the MENA region?
Thank you for coming, Sal, and it's good always to see you, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank
you. The e-waste industry we pioneered back 18 years ago. And we've seen it grow and grow and develop. We're creating the logistics hubs and the operations from Cape Town up to Cairo, which has its own set of different objectives and intricacies when it comes to Africa. But locally here, 4 years ago, we launched the recycling hub, which is behind you. And we're proud to see growth and development of product coming in for e-waste. The challenges continue to be around the region for the regulations and legislation. We're getting more and more customers who are having their own sustainability goals and their ESG commitments, and they're solid customers that understand what we're on about. But from a point of view of trade, is still a bit of a point that needs to be raised.
In terms of regulations, the central banks of the GCC announced unified ESG laws. That was in Riyadh in January. Just last week, we were in Oman at the Oman Sustainability Week. There were talks of unified waste laws across the GCC. Are you considering anything for the e-waste? Are there any talks for the e-waste in particular?
We're very pleased to announce even that last week, discussions between us and the ministries commenced again after a week. So it's almost nearly every week now that we're talking not only from an environmental perspective, but about how good it is for the economy, in that we are retaining wealth in the country, creating green jobs. Make it in Emirates is something that's an amazing development by His Excellency Sultan Al Jaber, the Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, and we're there to support that.
In terms of partnerships, the region is quite diverse. What are your partnerships at this point of time?
Our partnerships from Cape Town up to Cairo are made up of 3 different levels of what we call tiers. Tier 1 is an actual Enviroserve operation, which we launched back in 2015, and that continues to develop. The franchise model becomes our tier 2, and tier 3 are logistics companies that support us in the not so easy parts of some parts of Africa.
Security is a very important component of e-waste. Many are fearful or skeptical. I understand that you have the world's top certification in this regard. What can you tell us about that?
Indeed. R2 version 3 has become the get-to process and the certification, which we're proud to have had for a number of years now. And with the facility behind you, it's not only all about the R2v3, it's about people coming and seeing, clients coming and seeing and saying, this is a level of R2v3 that is beyond anything else that's in the region. So there is that comfort factor and that secure factor that the client's product coming here, specifically with data, is managed and processed in a compliant manner.
How's the certification process going on?
Interesting. We are about to launch next week a new range of a new series of certification. And you'll be pleased to know that it's called the ESG certificate.
Well, very pleased to know indeed.
Not only from an ESG perspective, but it stands for Enviroserve Gold. Enviroserve Gold certification. There's going to be 3 certificates. There's one for recycling, there's one for destruction, and a very important CSR angle is one for any charitable donation.
That's the S of ESG that many don't talk about, unfortunately.
People don't talk about it. So one of our gold certification is to do with the social side of things. Then there's the platinum, and platinum is to do with data destruction. So you get no higher level of confirmation of data destruction than with our range of 2 documents on the platinum, which is for data destruction and data deletion. 18 years ago, we launched And I remember doing it. I remember right in a small office somewhere, I produced the green certificate.
Yes.
The green certificate has become very sort of synonymous. It's become an icon in the UAE of the certificate that is given for confirmation of some kind of service. And 18 years on this month, we're celebrating 18 years. We thought it time to raise the level of our certification.
Great. Mabruk, as you say. Gas, as you know, just Dubai announced mandatory energy reporting for hotels.
Yeah.
What are you doing in this regard? What is the latest?
We've taken batteries,
especially for the for the hospitality sector.
The hospitality sector. From a gas's point of view,
yes,
the refrigerant gas,
yes,
just meetings last week again, there's going to be a renewal in the enforcement and monitoring of the release of refrigerant gas. The UAE, considering COP28 in the region, are saying we have to reduce the strategies of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And we raised the subject saying we can talk all about motor cars, but we've got to remember about refrigerant gas.
Indeed.
One of the highest levels of ozone depleting and global warming substances. And that's a high topic for ministerial level to now reinforce with the authorities to ensure no venting of the refrigerant gas.
How are you
hospitality is a huge beneficiary for that.
So how will you basically be involved in the reporting process?
So the reporting process is very simple. Is that any client, let's talk a hospitality, they have a unit, an air conditioning unit, that has to be changed or there's been a failure. They recover that refrigerant gas and document it with us, saying that we have deposited into Enviroserve refrigerant bank X amount of kilos. The authorities can then check with the hospitality or the company and say, how much gas have you deposited at Enviroserve, for example, and that's the administration trail that is important for us to give to the client that recovery certificate.
Great. Basically, in terms of logistics, in terms of we're seeing electric vehicles. What about the transport and the environment transport, green transport within your premises and within the sector overall?
Within the sector overall, being an ex-logistics person, and that's what I call the seed of the company. The drive is to ensure sustainability. Now, product coming to or from Enviroserve holds a certain environmental and sustainable value that can be written off against any carbon emissions. And we're working with one, if not a number of regional and global top international transport and logistics providers to
anything soon?
Obtain them. An email went off today, let me put it that way.
All right, batteries. The EV sector is growing in the broader MENA region. We have the global players such as Tesla's and others, Honshi and all others. And also we have the upcoming local manufacturers such as Seer in Saudi Arabia. So the EV market is growing, expanding on a weekly basis. And we saw the batteries. So now the cycle, as you know, batteries have a life cycle. What are you doing and how are you helping in this regard?
So we started over a year ago in figuring out what the MENA region needed for these EV batteries. And right now we're talking to a major global freight forwarder that has established an EV battery logistics hub process for the importation and for the distribution of the batteries to the agents of Honshi and other manufacturers. And we have now tied up with them. The process of checking on our compliancy, the auditing process, specifically with a really large German company, has been completed at Enviroserve. We passed the audit. And we're now the go-to partner for the return side of these batteries. What we're doing here is ensuring that the batteries are imported under our licensing. They go through a process of stabilizing the battery in phase one of processing down to a point where it can be moved onwards. or transported to a downstream partner
Yeah.
for black mass.
So you're applying the world's best practices in this regard.
100%.
Okay, what about beyond UAE? Let's say Saudi Arabia and other markets. Are you also getting into this for the batteries section?
Yes, where they're importing as we speak from the MENA region.
All
We're
right.
importing from there. At the moment, processing in those countries.
Yes.
We're looking at the hub and spoke system
Yeah.
as we do at Enviroserve. So we can't at this moment take the solution to the problem. We're transporting the problem to a hub.
Lots of news today. What is next for Enviroserve?
Next for Enviroserve is very much on a UAE basis
Yes.
and our international continuation of expansion around what we love, which is the MENA region.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.